Now, thousands of demonstrators are marching through London, demanding a general election and an end to austerity. It comes ahead of a crucial week in the Commons when MPs are widely expected to reject Theresa May's withdrawal deal from the EU. Well, our political correspondent, Tom Barton, is in central London at the protest. And Tom, just take us through exactly what's been happening with these marches. What exactly are they asking for?
Well, this rally here has been calling for another general election. It actually just finished a couple of moments ago. One of the people they've heard from here today has been the Shadow Chancellor, John McDonnell, who's with me now. John McDonnell, Brexit has hardly been mentioned on the podium. You talk to people in the crowd, they're not talking about Brexit. Is Brexit not the most important issue affecting the country at the moment?
The people that are marching today obviously are concerned about Brexit, but they're also concerned about austerity still being rolled out. So what we've had here today is community groups, trade unions, other democratically elected representatives, local councillors, all saying about what's happening in their communities with regard to austerity, the cuts in the schools, the NHS, lack of police on the ground, that sort of thing. But of course, overlying all of that as well is people's concerns about what happens if Theresa May's deal goes through, but also if there's a no-deal Brexit as well, the catastrophic effect that would have. So these issues are mingled together.
You're calling for a general election. Isn't the reality that actually with the DUP backing Theresa May, with her party backing her, at least when it comes to remaining in power, it's going to be almost impossible for you to force that general election?
Right, well, anything could happen in Parliament, as we know at the moment. First step is to make sure we defeat Theresa May's deal. And I think, well, all the predictions are that will happen. Once we've done that, we'll expect a statement from the Prime Minister. Then we'll make a judgment about when, not if, but when we table a no confidence vote. And that, if we can win that, will trigger a general election. Anything can happen in Parliament at the moment. The key thing for us is this isn't just about Brexit. This is about austerity as well. That's why so many people are marching today. But also we're seeing a government literally disintegrate in front of our eyes. Legislation it can't get through. Even its own Finance Act it had to amend as a result of having to capitulate to the opposition at time and time again. So we're seeing a government in office but not in power. And it's time, therefore, to have a general election.
If you can't force a general election, and maybe you could, but it seems difficult at least, Labour's policy is to call for a second referendum, another referendum. Will you follow through with that?
Well, we're sticking absolutely rigidly and firmly by what our members decide at Labour Party conference. Defeat this deal, then call for a general election and a no confidence vote, and then keep all options on the table. And one of those options, yes, is another referendum, another public vote, and that will be considered. But we're sticking exactly to what our members have instructed us to do, and that's what we'll do.
This isn't the only protest today. In Sheffield, there's been a march for another referendum called by the People's Vote campaign. Is that really the campaign with momentum behind it, not yours for another general election?
Well, what's interesting, I think what most people want is to bring the country back together again, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And I think Jeremy Corbyn is exactly the right leader we need to do that. Someone who builds consensus, because at the end of this, once this debate is over, what we want is a country united. But also we want a country that looks at the issues that are affecting every one of our communities, and that's the impact of austerity.
John McDonnell, thank you very much indeed for your time. So obviously protest here today, that protest in Sheffield as well, calling for another referendum. There have been loud voices here and in Sheffield today. There'll be loud voices in Parliament in the coming week as well.
Indeed. Tom Barton, thank you.